Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're going back to Adventure Deck Profiles. We're going to be actually looking at Rosemon in the BT21 format. This deck actually got a good bit of tools with the Adventure package, and it's really fun with some of the new cards we have access to. So, we're going to start with our training here. We have 4 copies of EX5 Nyaromon. All turns while this Digimon is suspended, it gets 1k DP. I like this. It keeps us safe after our swings. The opponent can actually swing over us without considering that 1k DP bonus. You can go the Gummymon Draw Egg, where if you have a green tamer, you draw a card. I prefer the DP boost. I think it's a little bit more relevant, especially with Rosemon being an 11k DP level 6 Digimon. For our level 3s, we have 4 copies of BT14 Palmon. Start of your main phase, one of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns when this Digimon becomes suspended. Lose 2 memory until the end of their turn. Great combo with Rosemon to force the memory loss on the swing. And then your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve. If you have a green tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. We have loads of those, so we can actually get into our level 6 very quickly and efficiently. We are going to run 4 copies of BT15 Palmon X Antibody on play, and when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Also synergizes very well with the BT14 Palmon. You give something the on suspend, lose 2 memory, you evo into this, suspend it, you get 2 memory for the play. And then the inheritable is actually fantastic with the adventure support. When one of your green tamers is played, gain a memory. We have ways to play the green tamers with the Kabuterimon from the adventure package, so this can actually net you a memory back for evoing into that Kabuterimon. Feels really great, honestly. And then I am rounding it out with 3 copies of ST21 Palmon on play. By trashing a card with the adventure trait in your hand, you get to draw 2, and all turns you get 1k DP. We do have enough adventure pieces that this comes up. It can help you unbrick in some situations where you maybe don't have all the pieces you're looking for. Moving on to level 4s, I'm on 2 copies of the BT14 Togemon. Your turn when you would play a green tamer from your hand by suspending one of your green Digimon, reduce the play cost by 3. First of all, because we can reduce the cost of adventure trait Digimon to play them, we don't actually have to suspend our main stack anymore to get this effect and play a tamer for free. Sometimes it's totally viable to plop down like a level 3 or level 4 adventure trait with the cost reduction on the tamers, and then suspend it with the Togemon to get another tamer in play. And it accumulates value over time because you can keep doing that and getting more tamers on the board. The inheritable also says when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Obviously pairs really nicely with the BT14 Palmon. We have lots of ways to play tamers in this deck, so you should always be reducing your evo cost by 1 or 2, depending on what stack you have going on. We're going to run 4 copies of the ST20 Kabuterimon. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play a tamer card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. That is just, I think, critical for the mission here. I don't want to always have a suspended stack if that is what we're forced into doing with the BT14 Togemon. So ST20 Kabuterimon is a nice way to play one of our adventure trait tamers for free. It does also give a piercing inheritable, so if we do have a suspended body on the board on the opponent's side, we can swing over it and get that piercing check-in. We're going to round it out with 4 copies of ST21 Togemon on play when Digivolving. If your tamers with the adventure trait have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon may evo into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. That feels really nice. Obviously, we're going to have lots of adventure trait tamers. We do have 3 colors in our tamer pool, so we can get into a Lillymon or MegaKabuterimon without paying the cost, which is going to be fantastic for the bottom decking potential of Lillymon. This also gets a 1k DP bonus for the all turns inheritable, which is going to make us bigger and harder to deal with, especially with that Nyaromon egg. We're looking at potentially 2 or 3k bonus on all turns. For our level 5 suite, 3 copies of ST20 MegaKabuterimon on play, and when Digivolving, one of your Digimon unsuspends. Then for every 2 colors your tamers with the adventure trait have, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. We love suspending things down, obviously, because we can get memory back for it. We can swing over them with piercing, and then we do have the potential to bounce them with the Lillymon. Your turn once per turn when your other Digimon are played or Digivolve. If any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. Also gives the Alliance inheritable. The second part of that effect does come up, especially with so many adventure trait tamers in our deck. We are going to have the opportunity to just plop things down and then give this Alliance and swing with it. Our main level 5 in the deck is the ST21 Lillymon. On play when Digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's 5k DP or lower Digimon. Then for every 2 colors your tamers have, return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. In a perfect world, we are using this when the opponent already has something suspended down on board, either with the Palmon X Antibody or because you're playing this after your first stack has been established. But this is just a really potent threat to bottom deck things. There is no DP limit on the bottom decking as long as you have 2 colors on your tamers on board. So any tamer aside from the Mimis that we're going to be running, you can bottom deck something, which is fantastic. Your turn when your other Digimon or player Digivolve, same thing as the MegaKabuteri, something gets Alliance and then may attack, and has the Alliance inheritable. This is going to make Rosemon a big threat that swings 2 checks, unsuspends, and swings 2 more checks, basically. Speaking of Rosemon, we're going to have 4 copies of the BT14 Rosemon. When digivolving and when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, and your turn once per turn. When an effect suspends a Digimon or Tamer, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So you get to attack. Hopefully you'll be alliancing with something. So you get your 2 checks in, you suspend something when you swing, and then you unsuspend, and then maybe you can alliance again for another 2 checks, depending on what your board looks like. We are also going to run 3 copies of the BT15 Rosemon X Antibody Evos on Rosemon for 1. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. They can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. Great control tool. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is played, you may suspend one of their Digimon. Also, excellent point here is that you don't have to suspend the Digimon that they played. You just suspend one of their Digimon. That's important to remember. And then when an opponent's Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, if Rosemon is in this Digimon sources, you suspend one of their Digimon. Again, it doesn't have to be the Digimon that promoted, but if the opponent's board is small and you're swinging over things with the piercing check, you're going to force to suspend on anything that promotes or gets played. We're going to run 2 copies of our Courage United. We have plenty of adventure trade cards to trigger this. Going to let us draw 2, and if we lose our Rosemon or our level 5 stack, we're going to be able to play back a level 5, which is always good. It's just more offensive pressure. We do have 1 copy of HPD, just suspending something down so that we can reduce our next Evo by 5. It just gets us into a level 6 or a level 5 if we have to for free. 4 copies of Agility Training, our best search package that we have here, just doesn't find our Courage United, but that's kind of negligible. We are going to run 3 copies of Tai, Kamiya, and Izzy Izumi. When you would play an adventure trait card, you can suspend this to reduce the play cost by 1, and all of your Digimon with the adventure trait gain blocker. So most of your level 4s, all of your level 5s, and then that Palmon level 3 will be blockers. That's kind of valuable, so we do enjoy having this Tamer in the deck. We are also going to run 3 copies of the Joe, Kido, and Mimi. If you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, you gain a memory, and then again, you can suspend this to reduce the play cost of adventure trait Digimon by 1. That's our 3-color suite here, is that we can have black, green, and blue, but it does meet the 2-color requirement for Lillymon very, very easily. Lastly, we're going to run 2 copies of the BT1 Mimi Tachikawa. If you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3, and then if you have a level 5 in play, you can suspend this down to promote an egg or hatch an egg if you don't have one. So that's going to be extra offensive pressure, pairs really nicely with the Alliance. And that's what we've got going on for Rosemon. If you do want to run the Rosemon Burst mode, you do need to make space for the Yoshi. You can drop Mimi. You can go down, I think, on the... I would go down on the Tai, Kamiya, and Izzy Izumis if you're going to try and make space for Yoshi. And then I would honestly be swapping the MegaKabuterimon for the Lillymons that let you play a Yoshi, so that you can actually get the Yoshis on board and then Burst mode off the Rosemon. I liked sticking to the Rosemon X Antibody plan, and it works pretty well for me. So that's going to be it for this deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you tried Rosemon with the Adventure Engine, or has the thought not come across your mind yet? Let me know how it goes in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our channel members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and DigiDane who make videos like this possible.